Hello, my darling bats, ravens, and everything else that goes bump in the night. I hope you're having a good day, evening, or night whenever you are watching this video. I personally am not doing super great, only because I have had so many issues with technology today. It has been aggravating. I've tried to film a video. Now, okay, let me establish this. Currently, I do not have an actual camera. I record everything on my phone. It's an iPhone. Don't ask me what kind of iPhone, I don't remember, but it's an iPhone. And unfortunately, I've had this phone for a couple of years, so as they do, the battery loves to die randomly, so I have to keep it constantly plugged in, or it says my storage is full, even though I have barely anything on my phone, or what I do have, it relates to my business, so I need it on my phone, like, you know, links to my store and things like that. And so it's like, hey, your storage is full, so I'm going to cut your video mid-sentence while you're trying to, you know, engage with people and not let you record anything until you delete stuff. And then it's like, okay, great, so I have to go through and delete things that I don't really want to delete in order for this to work, and then the video gets split up into several chunks, which is just annoying, and then I have to load them all on a flash drive in several chunks and try to label which ones are which, because my boyfriend does all my editing, which, by the way, thank you, boyfriend, but it's just frustrating when they're all in chunks and he's got to figure out, you know, what the order is, and on top of me, like, making notes to him, and just, oh, it's such a pain. I was so frustrated. I actually cried. I was so frustrated. I'm a frustration crier. I cry if I'm sad, angry, frustrated, happy, just any strong emotion in any direction. I cry. It's awful. It's horrible. And then, of course, on top of the video issues, I was trying to film like a makeup video, and it was just not cooperating. Even though my makeup right now looks somewhat decent, while I was trying to film it, it did not. I was frustrated, and it was just not cooperating with me, and I just like, and then of course you set everything out and you get it all prepared, right? And then you can't find one thing and you're sitting there scrambling around, where is the thing, where's the thing, I just bonked my horns, where is the thing, and you can't find it. And of course I'm like, great, even though it's a video and it will get cut out, I still feel like an idiot because I'm wasting all this time that I should be using, you know, doing my face to find this thing that's right in front of me that I can't see because I'm blind. It just was not fun. But after that breakdown, I actually have a camcorder charging on the side that the boyfriend is letting me borrow, so hopefully I'll try that out, and maybe in future videos we'll be able to use that. Plus it'll be a nicer quality and I'll be able to zoom in and out, and eventually that'll be useful. But anyways, now that I have gotten all of that spiel out of the way, I don't really have a plan for this video. It's going to be more of like a chatty one. I'm going to film another video after this. Will be a little less chatty. Actually, it'll still be chatty, but it'll have a point. But I realized I never really made a video like introducing myself and talking about my hopes for the channel and who the heck I am. You know, stuff like that. So, because I had a bad day, the horns came out. Like, instead of saying like the hats came off, like the horns came on. It's a day. So, hi. I am Alex. I am the master crafter and curator of the strange and unusual at Gothic's Arts, Crafts, and Magic. Don't ask me how I came up with that title. I don't remember. I know it's a mouthful, but I still love it. So the entire point is essentially I like making things with my hands. I've liked it ever since I was a kid. I like knitting and crochet. I like painting and drawing. Not that I'm an expert at those, but just making things with my hands. And obviously I'm goth, so I like darker things, though I do like nice things too. I'm not opposed to color and happy things. Please don't think because I'm goth I'm depressed. No, that's not. That's a stereotype, which might be a whole other video, but I guess you could say I just like appreciate the darker sides of things. Plus I like more witchy themed stuff, hence like my background with the moon phases, and like this is like as I show my hair instead of the thing. I'm wearing a shawl, if I can grab it, that has all sorts of cool symbols on it. So, you know, I guess my aesthetic is varied, I guess you could say. It mixes between goth, witch, hippie, whatever. I have a couple corsets too. I don't know if I'll ever wear them in a video, only because they're very uncomfortable to sit in. You can walk with them and look regal and wonderful, don't get me wrong, but when you have to sit in them, not super comfy. It's like the things we do for beauty. Anyway, so yes, if anyone is curious, I do have an actual, I guess, store. It's not anything super grand. I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress. But I have a Facebook store, which is linked down below. I have an Instagram store linked down below. The same stuff is on both, just whichever you want to look at. And obviously, if you have any questions, I have my email. You can email me or just post a comment. I do look at the comments. Even though sometimes I'm bad about responding to them, I do look at them. So if you have any questions about anything, let me know. But essentially, most of my store is either handmade jewelry or it's crocheted or knitted items currently. I do have tarot readings as well that I do offer. I think the way I do it is, depending on the reading, it's between $5 and $10, but I do go very in-depth in my readings, and even though I'm not an expert, I do try my best, and I've actually gotten pretty good feedback from other people I've done readings for, so that's good. I actually did a reading for a friend of mine. They had a very personal question, so I'm not going to share it here, but they had a question. I ended up doing a reading with a deck. I believe it was my manga deck, which I did do a video on if you're curious what the cards look like, but I used my manga deck. I also used all sorts of oracle cards, which again, if you don't know what oracle cards are, that will be in a whole other video. I'm still working on it. I also drew a rune for this person, so all sorts of things. I'm very in-depth with my readings. I try to give the person as much information as possible, especially if it's a very personal question where the person really needs a lot of help. I try to help as much as I can. That's all I ultimately want, is I want to help people and I want them to be happy, essentially. You know, that's my devious plan. Be kind to people and make them happy. As for the items that I make, it varies, and I'm always learning how to make new things. Currently in my store, just to name a couple things right off the top of my head, I have arm knitted blankets, which if you don't know what those are, they're essentially you use your arms as like a knitting needle and you just weave them using your hands, so they end up very big very quickly. And they're actually very comfy. I actually have a couple unfinished that are this rack. They're on the other side. It's a two-side rack. I'm not going to show you at the moment just because then I have to undo everything, but trust me, they're there. I have arm knitted blankets in a couple different colors. I do have one crocheted blanket that I actually started last year during Pride Month because I was very just inspired and I wanted to do something. I believe I named it Love Wins, and it's a rainbow blanket using a stitch called Jacob's Ladder. So I might, in editing, I might add these photos so you can actually see what I'm talking about in case you're curious. But yeah, so I have one crocheted blanket, arm knitted blankets. I have a couple amigurumi, which if you don't know what amigurumi are, they're essentially crocheted or knitted animals that are stuffed, and they look super cute. I know how to make baby Yodas. Those are actually pretty popular. I've done a couple of those. I have baby Yodas. I have crocheted dragons, both mini ones, and I did make one jumbo one with like this really soft stuff. He looked super cute. He's adorable. I have crocheted pumpkins that are super cute, especially with Halloween coming up. Favorite holiday? I know. Big shock, right? But yeah, so what else? What else? I know how to make scarves. I know how to make hats, really comfy hats with little pom-poms. Oh, I know how to make hooded scarves, which I have a couple. Not really plain, but just ones that don't have any extra anything. Essentially, it's a scarf that's long enough that you can have pockets, so you like wear them with pockets on the bottom, and then a hood that comes up. I keep hitting my horns. I keep forgetting they're there, but then you pull the hood up over your horns, I guess, and it's very comfy. I do actually have one because I'm a huge Pokemon fan. I have one that is Umbreon themed, and that one I had a lot of fun working on, and it is super warm. I'll try to post pictures if I remember that, but it's really pretty. So all sorts of hooded scarves. I have pocket shawls, or at least one. It's similar to hooded scarf. It's basically a shawl with pockets, but no hood. All sorts of things, and I'm constantly learning how to make new things, so there's that. What else? What else? What else? I already said handmade jewelry. I have all sorts of necklaces and things. I'm eventually going to get into earrings. So I love making things with my hands. And then I already mentioned the tarot readings. Eventually, once I get better with my runes, I might even do just rune readings by themselves. And you know what? What else? What else? I'm having a brain fart. Here I am. I love making this stuff, and I'm having a total brain fart. Oh well. But anyways, if you're curious about anything that I make, I'll post links. feel free to send me an email or ask me questions. I'll be here. I'll respond. Thank you. I guess now I can talk about some updates. So my updates and what I hope for this. So currently I do work full-time at a normie job. It's not a 9-to-5 job, but it's a normie job, I guess you could say. And when I mean normie, I just mean like a normal job, you know, Monday through Friday, X amount of hours, weekends off, which I'm very lucky. I didn't always have a job like that. And on the surface, my job is okay. Like, it's Monday through Friday. You get weekends and holidays off, and you get paid holidays. You get benefits. It's decent pay. Don't get me wrong. I work at a trucking terminal, so I work during transportation, or in transportation, and during the pandemic, when the you-know-what thing that I can't say, only because YouTube will flag the video, but you know what I'm talking about. When that started happening, I worked throughout the entire thing, and it was super stressful and just all sorts of issues. But now we're starting to get towards the end of it, but we're still super short-staffed, and just, oh my goodness. So it's a lot of stress. And there's a couple issues with the job that I'm not going to get into, only because I want this video to be happy and positive, and I just don't feel comfortable discussing them right now. But just issues with the job, I guess you could say. Plus, personally, I'm just not a 9-to-5 person. Not that my hours actually are 9-to-5, but the whole, you know, daily grind, weekend warrior thing, that's not me. Plus, I'm not able to fully express myself at work. I do have to look somewhat professional. Like, I can't walk into work looking like this unless it's Halloween, and then people just... It's not going to work out. I mean, I'm used to getting stared at, but when it's your coworkers and your boss staring at you, it's a little bit more of a problem. But anyway, and I just, you know, I would love to be able to work for myself, which is part of the reason why I started the store, part of the reason why I work with a company named Unique to sell makeup, which is the makeup that I'm wearing. It's all Unique. It's spelled Y-O-U, Unique, which I thought was kind of cool. Plus, I like Unique. I personally haven't had anything bad with the company. I know some people have said they've had bad experiences. Personally, I haven't experienced it. I have fantastic people who help me out whenever I need help. Like, it's a huge, really supportive community. It's mostly women, but I do believe there are some men and maybe some non-binary individuals in it. But it's mostly women, from what I understand. Not that there's anything wrong with that. The makeup is nice quality. Doesn't make my face break out. It works really well. I personally really like it. Otherwise, I wouldn't wear it or advertise it if I didn't like it. I'm just that type of person. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. So I like the makeup, which is why I wear it. But they also have a foundation to help support battered women, try to help them get out of abusive relationships, and provide resources for them to get their life back on track and things like that, which I can definitely get behind. Not that I personally have ever been in a domestic abuse relationship, but I do know people who have been, and so like nonprofits like the Unique Foundation and others really, they do save lives. They really do. So I definitely feel good about that. Plus, the makeup is not tested on animals, which I very much care about, because, you know, I'm a huge animal lover. Honestly, I'm the type of person where I'd much rather hang out with animals than people pretty much any day. You know, here, funny story. The other day we were driving home from running errands. We were actually buying supplies for something I'll talk about later that we're going to add to the store, hopefully. But we came across a gigantic snapping turtle on the side of the road. Like, the thing had, like, its shell was bigger than my face. And the darling boyfriend was with me, and he's experienced with turtles. He's had turtles his entire life. And we do have currently one turtle and a couple tortoises. But this is a big snapping turtle. Now, if you don't really know much about snapping turtles, the reason they are called snapping turtles is they have very strong jaws, and they can strike out very quickly. They snap and close their jaws and do not let go, at least not easily. And adult snapping turtles are very capable of biting off, like fingers, toes, or biting into you and causing some serious damage. These are not turtles you want to mess with. They're not, well, I think they're cute, but they're not cuddly, and they're aggressive. And the problem is, it was a 4-lane road, and this turtle decided to try and cross it. It was during very busy rush hour traffic, so we pulled over, and this wonderful older couple pulled over too, and luckily the husband had gloves, and my boyfriend had mentioned that he had experience with turtles, so he and the husband kind of went closer to the turtle while the wife and I stayed behind and were like trying to like not direct traffic, but like slow people down, just let them know, hey, there's people on the side of the road, don't hit them, we're trying to save this turtle. And eventually the boyfriend like literally grasped it behind the shell as far back as he can, because snapping turtles have very long necks and they can reach back behind their shell and get you if you're not careful. So he grasped the turtle by the very back of the shell near the tail. By the way, don't pick up turtles by their tail. It's directly connected to their spine. You can kill them. Don't do it. But anyway, so he's grasping this turtle and he's like carrying it very carefully across the road, kind of like running, walking, like not quite running, not quite walking, because A, it's busy traffic, and B, this turtle was heavy, and C, it was having none of it. It was snapping, trying so hard to get at him. It was like swishing his tail around, like spreading out his legs, which have like some claws on them. It was just not a happy turtle. Now granted, we were trying to save it, but it didn't know that. It was just angry. Kind of reminded me of like the stereotypical ornery old man. It's like, you put me down and you leave me alone, you damn youngins, I know what I'm doing. I don't know. Anyway, we eventually ended up getting the turtle across the road, and it seemed to be okay. And it was kind of nice just seeing people stopping and helping out turtles. But what was the point of that story? Oh, right, because I love animals. So yes, we will stop at the side of the road to save turtles and any other sort of animal on the side of the road if we can. And that just happened to be the most recent example. And then actually that same day driving home, we saw another one. So we pulled over, but luckily this one was a bit smarter, where it saw cars and it was like, you know what? Never mind. And it turned right around and went back in the pond. So I was like, okay, smart snapping turtle. But yes, I love animals. I prefer to hang out with animals instead of people. So there's that. But ideally, going back to the whole life thing, if I'm able to make enough money, like just, it would be a dream come true. Between, I do want to keep doing YouTube, partially because I do enjoy doing these videos. It's something I always wanted to do. I grew up watching YouTubers and always wanted to do it. I always thought the job was absolutely fantastic. I love the idea of working from home and not having to like go out and commute every day. Now granted, this job does have its drawbacks, which I experienced when technology doesn't want to cooperate with you. That's one big one. But still. And I'm hoping eventually to make some money off of YouTube, in between YouTube and my makeup stuff, which I'm hoping will also benefit from my videos, because again, I do like the stuff. I wouldn't talk about it if I didn't like it. And with my crafting stuff, I'm just hoping between all of that, I'll be able to make enough money to maybe do like a part-time job, or at least decrease the hours at my current job, so that way I can just be a lot less stressed out and a lot less miserable. Essentially, just gonna be honest, a lot less miserable. So now I do have some updates as well. We're going to be adding more stuff to the store. In fact, I have one here. I recently finished a wish box, which if anyone does follow my Instagram or Facebook, again, the links are down in the description. I've been working on one for a couple of weeks now, and it's finally finished. Here's the finished product of it. It's very rune inspired. As I said, I've been studying runes and was very inspired by them. It's a little wish box, which if you're curious what a wish box is, right after this video I'm going to be recording how to use one. The back's kind of plain, but it's got a nice felt bottom. I might as well show you the inside, why not? I don't know what the term is. It's not bedazzled, but I have spray-on glitter, and I very generously used spray-on glitter. So whatever the term is for over glittering, that's what I did. And of course now it's not wanting to open, so hold the phone please. Okay, finally got it open. That took way too long than it should have. Apparently the clear coat that I put on it sealed it shut. So that was not fun. I just have to go back through and fix a couple spots. But here is the wish box that now has my hair on it, inspired by the Norse runes. There are 25 in total. This technically counts as a rune. It's the blank rune, so I left this base blank, so there are 25. But this is something I recently painted. Here's the side, and like I said, I got to touch up this part from pulling it open. It was not very fun, but I got a couple designs there. Here's the front, says wish box on it, and a couple clouds and things, but I also have it painted on the inside. I have here a couple feathers with some splatter paint, and then the inside has like a sparkly felt I don't know if you can see that very well. It is very sparkly though. But this is a wish box that I recently finished, and I'll be posting a video on how to properly use a wish box. But yes, that is one thing that will be added to the store, are hopefully future wish boxes. They won't all look like this. This just happened to be one that I really wanted to do. I painted it mostly with acrylic paint, and then the really sparkly glitter, like I said, was a glitter spray, and then I went over all of that with a clear coat kind of finish to keep all the paint on there, which also made things pop really easily, so I like that. And like I said, I got a felt bottom to keep it nice and soft so it doesn't scrape. That just took a lot out of me trying to get that open. I even had to take off my claw to get it open. Oh no, I've been declawed. Anyway, so yes, I'm going to be adding wish boxes to the store. Hopefully the next ones won't take as long. That one did take a little while, partially because it's my first box, you know, so you don't really know what you're doing. You're kind of experimenting. But I'm also going to be adding, hopefully, runes to the store. I'm very excited. I have a couple bags here. They are not finished yet, but they're these little wooden circle, I guess wood chips, whatever you want to call them. If they would kindly cooperate with me, which they don't feel like doing right now. Of course not. Why would they? The camera's rolling. Why would they cooperate? But they're little wooden round little chips here. Each one is separated out into sets of 25. But yes, I drew on the little runes. This is not how they're going to look all finished. This one's the warrior rune. Does that look familiar? I'm going to wood burn them and paint them and make them all look pretty and gorgeous and just all sorts of things. Here's another rune. So yeah, I'm going to be making them. I think I have 8 sets I currently have to make, so each one's going to look a bit different, and I'm very excited to offer runes because I've recently been very interested in runes. If I've said that enough times already, because I repeat myself so many times. But I've been reading a lot about them and how people use them, and they're actually very interesting. Now, runes are technically, I suppose, Norse, or along with the Norse mythology, or people associate them with Vikings and things like that. I do not consider myself I think the term is like a Norse pagan, like someone who worships the Norse gods, or a Viking in any sense. I clearly just do not have the complexion to be a Viking. Not pale enough. Isn't it usually pale and braided hair and badassery that I don't have? But anyways, I don't really consider myself part of that religion. There are some people who still practice it. I have nothing against it. I just don't know much about it. And I don't want to say, hey, I'm part of it, when I don't know much about it. But I do try to be respectful, and runes are kind of something where you don't have to be part of that religion to use them. It's kind of like tarot. It's not really associated with a religion. You can use it if you want, sort of thing. But I do still also try to be respectful and say, like, hey, here's the history of it if I know it, which the runes, again, they come from, like, Vikings and Norse and stuff like that. So if you're interested, one good book that I have, actually, close by, Runes, Plain and Simple. This does sell at Barnes & Noble, from Kim Farnell. This is a pretty good book, and actually when I bought my runes, my very first set of runes, which are somewhere, oh, they're over here. They came with a darling little bag. They actually came in a set also from Barnes & Noble. I do a lot of buying at Barnes & Noble, apparently. But the runes look like this. So the little white stones that are carved and painted, these are what these runes look like. And it came in a set, and along with it also there was a book, which is called The Book of Runes by Ralph. I can't pronounce the last name, but this is what the book looks like. This came along with the set, and I'm partially reading through it, but I was really inspired by runes. I wanted to do a box that was rune themed, and sort of just, you know, in general learn about them. But anyways, back to what I was saying, because I keep going off topic, because I can't seem to. Maybe I should do scripts for these videos. Anyway, I am going to be adding runes to the shop once those get finished up, and what I'm very excited about is myself and the boyfriend are getting into resin casting. So I'm hoping that not only will I add those, my light just went out. Hang on. Hang on. See what I mean about technology just not liking me? Do you see? There we go. Okay. Technology hates me today. Not only am I going to be adding the wooden runes, I actually found some really cool rune molds that you can use for resin, so I'm hoping to add those, and all sorts of other resin creations which the boyfriend's going to help me with, and hopefully help add to the store and add all sorts of goodies. So we are constantly working on new stuff to add to the store. I'm very excited. I really am. The resin stuff looks so freaking cool. We have so many different colors. In fact, one of the main brands we were going to use is something called Unicorn Spit. How could you not love it when it's called Unicorn Spit? But anyways, this video is getting way too long. It was only supposed to be a short video. So there you go. Some updates, a little bit about me, a little bit about the store, things like that. As always, I'm going to have to do the YouTube plug, you know. Like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the bell, join the murder. We are growing slowly, but we are growing. We're up to 7 last time I checked, so I'm very excited. Which is about the number of friends I have in real life. If that. It's quite sad. So please, let the murder grow. Let the craziness spread. And I will see you in the next video. Until then, farewell. Goodbye.